Enjoy the convenience of 7 days a week banking and extended hours with Cube from First Arkansas Bank and Trust. Member FDIC. It's time for From the Short Grass with Trey Schaap, a golf podcast for those who love golf, struggle with golf, and just like to enjoy the outdoors and fellowship with friends, all while chasing a ball around trying to put it in a 4 1/4 inch diameter hole. From the Short Grass is brought to you by Stevens Incorporated, an independent financial services firm with the freedom to focus on what matters most. Blackman Auctions. For over 80 years, better auctions have always been Blackman Auctions. Beechwood Pinnacle Hotels. We partner with you to deliver high-yield results by managing, developing, and investing in top-quality hospitality assets. And now, from the Short Grass, here is your host, Trey Schaap.
Welcome to another edition of From the Short Grass. I am your host, Trey Schaap. Wow, what a PGA Championship at Southern Hills. Justin Thomas wins in a playoff over Will Zalatoris. Thomas goes birdie, birdie, par on the 3-hole aggregate playoff. Will Zalatoris, birdie, par, and then he didn't have to putt on 18 because Thomas had already won the playoff. But it's kind of ironic of how Justin Thomas was even able to get into the playoff when you look at his scores, 67, 67, 74, and comes back and shoots a 3-under 67 on Sunday. Will Zalatoris, 66, 65, 73, 71. But everybody thought until the 72nd hole that it was going to be Mito Pereira winning the PGA Championship. Unfortunately, Pereira double bogeyed the 18th hole. He shoots 68, 64, 69, 75, and finishes tied for third with Cameron Young. Tommy Fleetwood finishes tied for fifth with Chris Kirk and Matt Fitzpatrick. Roy McIlroy in eighth. Brendan Steele, Tom Hoagie, Abraham Answer, Seamus Power, all at tied for 9 with a 1-under final score. The prize breakout, Justin Thomas, $2.7 million for the win. Not a bad payday for Will Zalatoris, repping Simmons Bank. $1.62 million for him with his second-place finish over at Southern Hills in Tulsa. You will hear from the champion Justin Thomas in just a bit, but first on the tee, here's runner-up Will Zalatoris with his initial thoughts after the PGA Championship.
Yeah, I actually thought that tee ball on 18 went in the water. So, the fact I was able to get into a playoff was huge. I fought like crazy all day. I thought, I really thought I needed to make a few birdies, really kind of 12 through 15, and just was barely missing on the edges. And, speed got off a little bit. I had a lot of putts that were uphill but breaking about 1.5 feet, and they're just so hard to hit, especially out here, just because they can run away from you. But pretty proud of the resolve that I had. I think yesterday was really the day that, looking back on it, was pretty frustrated with. The first 9 holes I thought was really good experience, especially going forward. Especially after missing the cut last week, I'm obviously pretty proud to be sitting in this position, considering Saturday I would have never thought I would have been standing here. So, I was always, it felt like I was always 1, 2, 3 back. And then once I saw Mito hit on the water on 18, I knew that putt that I was going to have on 18 was probably to get into a playoff. We'll bottle that putt on 18 for the future. So, pretty excited where my game's at for sure. And, like I said earlier, I know I'm going to get one. It's just a matter of time. I kind of have to check myself sometimes because I feel like I'm playing junior golf or college golf all over again, playing with Scotty, Mito, even JT. We've been playing together for almost 10 years. I mean, first time I played with JT, I was 13 in Cannon Cup on AJGA. So, I laugh at it because I feel like we're playing, obviously this is a major championship and this is the highest level, but we've been playing together forever. And so it's super fun to see. It's very motivating, obviously, when you see any of your peers do it, because, we've all played together since junior golf. And, like I said, it's exciting, and I know I'm going to get one.
If Will Zalatoris keeps playing like this in the majors, he is 100% correct. He will win one before too long. Now on the tee, Justin Thomas, your 104th PGA champion, discussing family and how the PGA of America has played a role in his family and how important it is for him to be a PGA champion. And Justin also talks about the difficulty of playing through the weather that they had at Southern Hills this year, how difficult that was, and coming down that final stretch, what was it like?
Yeah, it's very, very special. I'm pleased, and at this point, any of them is great. I don't care which one it is. I mean, as Tom Brady always says, your favorite Super Bowl is your next one, and that's what my favorite major is. And at this moment, it's definitely this guy right here. And it would. I'm looking forward to talking to my grandma. I'm sure she was watching, but yeah, I know somewhere up there, Grandpa was definitely watching today and pulling for me, and it's very, very cool to be able to share this moment with my family. Well, I don't think I've ever played. A non-Open championship. I've never played it so severe. Because when we played Friday morning, it was howling out of the south, and then yesterday it was cold and howling out of the north. That doesn't happen often, let alone in a major championship and at a place like this. So it brought out another side of everybody. It challenged us, and I was excited for that, because although I would have loved to have seen this place in a north wind, I hadn't before, but at the same time, I'm sure a lot of guys hadn't either, and it was just about. It probably helped that I hadn't been here that often, because it was a lot easier to throw the past 2 rounds of memory out and just almost take each hole from scratch for what it was. And it was very, very tough, but everybody had to deal with the same kind of stuff. Well, again, I didn't look at a leaderboard, so I didn't know where I necessarily was. I think when I made the birdie on 12, there's just different roars, different energy that you can feel sometimes, and I felt that one was pretty big. I didn't hit a very good wedge shot in there, but I left it in a good spot and was able to make that putt, and I could just kind of feel the energy. I got a little bit of goosebumps when that went in, and just like, all right, like this is, I don't know where I'm at, but I'm in striking distance.
Yes, he was definitely in striking distance. Justin Thomas coming from behind and winning the 104th PGA Championship. Coming up after the break, we're going to have a conversation over Zoom with the 2022 Arkansas State Golf Association Amateur Champion. The tournament was played this past weekend at Hardscrabble Country Club in Fort Smith. Connor Gaunt was your champion. He fired an opening round bogey-free 65 5-under par, followed that up with a 66, and then shot a very nice 69 on his round 3 for a total of 210 under par, winning by 5 shots over Murphy Allard. Connor Gaunt is coming up after the break. Before we head to the break, I need to tell you about Beechwood Pinnacle Hotels. bphotels.com is where you find them on the web. Matthew Allen, Blair Allen, they do a great job of managing your hotel properties. And so if you're in the market to have someone manage your hotel property, reach out to bphotels.com. We're back after the break. Stay with us.
This is Thomas Blackman of Blackman Auctions. You all know by now I'm not a good golfer, but my son loves the game and he and I have been playing more. I've got my score down to, I've quit playing a scramble on every hole. I'm using the bunker rake much less than I used to, and a lot of the time I hit my drives past the women's tee box. All of my success in golf can directly be tied to me listening to From the Short Grass. Without it, I would not be the golfer I am today. Trey, you owe me $20 for that. Trey knows golf, I know auctions. Come see us at BlackmanAuctions.com. Since 1938, better auctions are Blackman Auctions.
With all the decisions you need to make about what to do in El Dorado, finding a place to stay is an easy one. The Haywood is uniquely positioned to make your stay one to treasure. Located in the historic Union Square district of El Dorado, the Haywood offers luxurious accommodations that feature contemporary, colorful rooms with high-quality bedding, comfortable baths with walk-in showers, and a spacious workspace with stylish plantation shutters that are unique additions to the stunning decor in a non-smoking environment. Make the Haywood your home away from home the next time you visit El Dorado.
Welcome back to this edition of From the Shortgrass. I am Trey Schaap. Next on the tee, let's hear via Zoom from the 2022 Arkansas Amateur Champion, Connor Gaunt. Connor Gaunt, the 2022 Arkansas State Amateur Champion, joins us on From the Shortgrass. Connor, congratulations on the big win.
Thank you so much. I'm honored to be here and looking forward to it.
You started off your round on Thursday. Wow. Bogey-free, 5 birdies. What was working well for you on Thursday?
Pretty much everything was clicking. It's kind of one of those days where golf was kind of easy. That's kind of all the days we kind of hope for when golf isn't easy 99% of the time. Just drove the ball well, and when I had wedges in my hands, I converted them. So made a few putts here and there, and it all worked out. Got up and down from some good spots to save par. So it was a good round for sure.
I was at the PGA in Tulsa on Thursday, and obviously the threat of weather, rain and stuff. What was the weather like in Fort Smith? I know that's not very far from Tulsa, but playing there at Hardscrabble Country Club, the wind can really whip around there and make things difficult, can it not?
It definitely can. The wind was a factor all week. Luckily, I went off in the morning on Thursday and went off at 7:40, so I didn't catch the wind until the back 9. So I felt like that gave me a little bit of an advantage. But definitely it likes to swirl out there. You throw up the grass on one hole and it'll be going downwind, and you'll be playing the next hole and it'll be into the wind. So you really just got to – the way I do it is I carry a compass, and if I know the wind's coming out of the south, I always find where south is, and that's where the wind is. So.
And then Friday, you start your round with a bogey, but you fire right back with a birdie on 3, a birdie on 6. You come back with a birdie on 11, an eagle on 13 before a bogey on 15, and finished it out with a birdie on 18 to shoot 65, 66 for the first 36 holes. Pretty impressive.
Thank you. Yeah, the second round was good. Definitely found some adversity on the first hole. I knew after that, after I hit my 4-iron off the tee and hit it in the bunker and ended up in a footprint, and I knew I'm going to have a little more adversity today. So, but yeah, it was a good round, and definitely good to keep the momentum going after the first round for sure.
I'm trying to figure out who didn't rake the bunker in front of you.
I don't know. I'm not going to point any fingers. I just you take what golf gives you, and that's what happened. So I hacked it out and hit it up there and missed a putt, but that's all I could do.
Tell me about the eagle on 13, the 2.
That was I hit my drive. It's kind of a short hole. It's like 380 yards. It's got bunkers left, right, and in the middle of the fairway. And all week I'm a really straight driver of the golf ball, and I hit my driver just as straight as I do my 3-iron. So I was just trying to bang driver down there as far as I could. And I was hugging the left side of the fairway, pulled it a little bit, and kind of caught the edge of the cart path and kicked me way left. And I had 70 yards out of the rough, and I hit it. I tried to land at 65, and it landed 65 and took one bounce, spun, and went in.
Wow.
And so I was kind of kept the momentum going, missed a couple putts before that, and I was like, all right, I've got to get it back. And that kind of put some wind in my sails for sure.
Yeah, so you are sitting on a lead. You have to sleep on a lead going into Saturday, and you start off again with a bogey on 1, but you come back on 3, the par 5, with an eagle, and that had to, I guess, right the ship a little bit for you?
It did, definitely. I started off with a bogey and kind of hit my drive left on 1 and did kind of hit a decent wedge over the back of the green. I had it simple up and down and just didn't convert it. I'm guessing that was a little bit of the jitters, and but I bogeyed and Murphy Aller birdied. So there goes my 5-shot lead back down to 3. So, and then with the eagle on 3 was big. I been playing that hole kind of bad all week. It's kind of an easy hole. You just bang a driver over the corner and have a 9-iron wedge into this par 5. And I said, all right, I hit a great drive, best drive I hit there all week, and stood over a pitching wedge, and I was like, all right, I gotta go dead at this thing. It's at the back left corner, and I did it, and I hit a good golf shot, and it went to about 8 feet and converted the eagle. So that kind of settled me down a little bit, and was definitely set the pace for the rest of the day.
When did you know you had it won?
I knew I had it won pretty much. I guess it was on 13. I made about a 20 foot back-to-back birdies on 12 and 13, and that gave me a 3-shot lead. And I knew that if I had a 3-shot lead coming in the last 4, because I played the last 4 pretty decent the last 2 days, and I knew that it'd be pretty hard for Murphy to come back and beat me. But like I said, he did a great job putting the pressure on me. That's kind of what I asked for. I didn't really I really kind of wanted to run away with it like everybody wants to, but it felt really good to be able to hit some golf shots under pressure like that. But yeah, definitely on 13 when I made about a 20-foot footer for birdie, I knew it was going to be pretty hard to beat me. So
you've been a junior amateur champion, junior amateur player of the year, being the amateur champion in the state of Arkansas. What does it mean to you?
It means a lot. I was looking at the trophy when I got home, and there's a lot of great names on that trophy. Like John Daly, Austin Cook, and just countless other legends like Wes McNulty, and just legends. It's just kind of really honored, and it really didn't hit me until I got home and started looking at it. I was looking at, there's major champion on that trophy. So definitely means a lot, and definitely started tearing up a little bit when I was looking at those names. And finally, I guess the drilling kind of wore off. I had a 2.5-hour drive home. I was still riding high, I guess, but it definitely hit me when I got home. So it means a lot.
I would imagine that 2.5-hour drive was went by pretty quick with the riding that adrenaline that you said.
Yes, sir. It did for sure.
So you just finished your junior year at LSU, and your path to LSU is not the conventional one. You left Cabot High School, went to Arkansas Tech. When did you decide that I want to try and move up to the big leagues and go Division I and go to the SEC?
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to kind of rewind a little bit. I committed to Tech when I was a sophomore in high school, and Luke Calcaterra and those guys there just was a great program, and I committed to them early, and I progressed throughout my high school and got really good my senior year, and had some offers and stuff come in from big D1 schools, and I kind of told him, I was like, look, I gave Luke my word. I'm not going to go back on my word, and I'm going to honor that, and I'm going to play at Arkansas Tech my first year and see how it goes, and if any doors open, they open. And Arkansas Tech actually got invited to play in LSU's home tournament actually in Shreveport. And we were paired with LSU the first day, and I fired 68, 69 in the first 36-hole day. And we were paired with them, and the assistant coach was in my group, and he it just kind of watched me. And it was pretty much like pretty blessing that I was able to play with them and play well. It kind of God's plan kind of came together, and then I tried to contact them, and they then everything kind of fell in from there. But then COVID happened, and then I got 4 years here, so it's pretty much God's plan. It's pretty crazy, but yeah, I knew I was good enough to play Division I out of high school, but I wouldn't trade anything. I wouldn't trade Tech for a year for anything. Just makes me appreciate with all the stuff that we have here at LSU, and the great coaches that we have, and even Luke Calcaterra is one of the best coaches in the nation. So it was really, really great, and I knew that LSU was a good fit for me. So
I know Sunday you had to drive back down to Baton Rouge. Did you get to watch any of the PGA Championship?
I did. I left early yesterday morning, trying to beat the rain. We had some rain coming in, and I got to watch the last probably 9 holes, and that was great to see Justin Thomas come back from 7 back. And that's it's crazy how golf works. You can be 7 back and win the dang thing. So never quit.
Is that a place you aspire to be someday?
I do. It's been a big dream of mine, and I've worked pretty hard at what I do, trying to master my craft, and definitely would like to chase it for as long as I can. So,
who got you involved in golf? Was it your father?
yes, it was. My dad put a club in my hand at a very young age, and he never really pushed me to do golf. He just said, "Here's golf, and let's see how you do." He played baseball in college, and I played everything growing up. I played baseball, basketball, football, golf, and I think that was a pretty big part of where I am today. Just playing multi-sport and being an athlete, and I love competition. I love competing. But yeah, I went straight golf during high school when all the other coaches would just kind of want me to play their sport, not golf. So golf is my main focus since about high school. So
Cabot High School is known for a good golf program as well. Did that have any influence on sticking strictly with golf?
It did definitely. And ever since I was 9 years old, I had a group of guys that I'd go out to the golf course and we'd walk 36 holes. My mom would drop me off at 7 a.m. and pick me up at 7 p.m. So a bunch of my lifelong buddies play on the golf team. And we had a heck of a golf team my senior year. I think we were ranked number one in the nation for a while. So it was definitely a big factor.
What did Coach Tucker instill in you guys?
Just Coach Tucker, he was just he knew that we were good to go. Once he said, all I had to do is get y'all there, which was kind of reassuring that we knew we had a job to do and we'd do it. But me and Coach Tucker go back a long time. He coached me in basketball during junior high. And so I played for him in basketball, and he kind of made me a man in junior high basketball. I mean, he'd run until I puked my guts up. So kind of definitely gave me some adversity during junior high. And but he's a great coach. He was very fun to be around, but he trusted us to do a job and we'd go and do it.
You're back in Baton Rouge right now. What's the rest of the summer like for Connor?
I've got some summer classes to finish up in June. I had some transfer credits that didn't transfer over. Got to make up those, and got that in June. So I won't be playing anything in June. But then July, kind of every week, just running and gunning. I'm gonna try to play in the Trans Miss in Denver, Colorado, and then kind of just play some local stuff. I'm gonna play the Maumelle Classic. I'm gonna play in the USAM qualifier at Maumelle the day after that. So that's a pretty good stretch of golf. 4 days of golf and then 36 holes after that. And then I'm going to try and make a run at that match play. I'd like to get them both in 1 year, which would be awesome.
That would be something. Have you played Mystic Creek before?
I have not. I've heard a lot of good things. I've been trying to get down there, but I'm excited. I hear it's a good test of golf course.
It will be a good test of golf. I will be down there. I'm not going to be playing in your division. I'm going to stick to my mid-am division, but I'll see you at the Maumelle Classic. I'll see you at the match play. So yeah, those are two good tracks to try and win.
That's what I'm excited. I'm excited. I know Mystic Creek is a good test, and I think a couple under par was a course record at one point. So that's definitely the course is going to be a beast. I'm excited to try to conquer it. So
no doubt about that. Well, Connor, thanks so much for joining us. Congratulations again on winning the 2022 Arkansas Amateur Championship. Hardscrabble Country Club. That's one of the legendary courses in the state. To win it there has to feel good.
It does. It definitely does. I love that golf course. I played a junior tournament there. I was blessed to win that junior tournament when I was there. And it's just a great golf course. Greens are always good. The layout's fun. Definitely rewards a person that drives the ball well, which I did all week. And there's not any other golf course I'd really want to win it on, but it's a great honor to be able to play that golf course.
Connor, best of luck the rest of this summer.
Thank you so much.
My thanks to Connor for spending some time out of his day and talking with us. Blackman Auctions. Since 1938, better auctions have always been Blackman Auctions. Find them on the web at blackmanauctions.com. Thomas, I've got the $20 for you. We're back after the break. Stay with us.
With all the decisions you need to make about what to do in El Dorado, finding a place to stay is an easy one. The Haywood is uniquely positioned to make your stay one to treasure. Located in the historic Union Square district of El Dorado, the Haywood offers luxurious accommodations that feature contemporary, colorful rooms with high-quality bedding, comfortable baths with walk-in showers, and a spacious workspace with stylish plantation shutters that are unique additions to the stunning decor in a non-smoking environment. Make the Haywood your home away from home the next time you visit El Dorado.
This is Thomas Blackman of Blackman Auctions. You all know by now I'm not a good golfer, but my son loves the game and he and I have been playing more. I've got my score down to, I've quit playing a scramble on every hole. I'm using the bunker rake much less than I used to, and a lot of the time I hit my drives past the women's tee box. All of my success in golf can directly be tied to me listening to From the Short Grass. Without it, I would not be the golfer I am today. Trey, you owe me $20 for that. Trey knows golf, I know auctions. Come see us at BlackmanAuctions.com. Since 1938, better auctions are Blackman Auctions.
Strength is measured not by the number of accounts. Strength is placing value on relationships. It's having the vision and the guts to invest in growth. It's the commitment to responsibly manage your money. At Stevens, we believe that our strengths build success, not only for us, but for our clients. Stevens, member NYSE, SIPC. Welcome back to this edition of From the Shortgrass. An email comes in to fromtheshortgrass@gmail.com asking a question about bunkers. Ball is in the bunker, and my finger, as I'm trying to remove a loose impediment, touches the sand of the bunker. Am I penalized? That's a great question from Jack in Jacksonville. Here, with that answer, is our rules expert, PGA Master Professional, Adam Carney.
So under this specific question, the answer is no. So the touching of the sand was directly attributable to the removing of the loose impediment, which is allowed now, which is not another one of the rules changes. So the inadvertent touching of the sand, because you were also in the process of removing a loose impediment, no penalty. The same would have been true prior to the rules change. If you're removing a movable obstruction and you inadvertently touched the sand on that process, there was no penalty. You weren't taking an action to test the surface of the sand in the bunker. So under these circumstances, no, an accidental touching of the sand while removing either a loose impediment or a movable obstruction, no penalty.
You are in the bunker. Let's say your ball is kind of on one of those loose impediments and you try to move that loose impediment and your ball moves. Then that's when you incur the penalty?
Yeah, so you're gonna have a problem there. I mean, that's a situation where with the loose impediment, ball comes to rest on the loose impediment. Same thing would be true in the fairway or in the rough. If you try and move that loose impediment, leaf, twig,
like a pine
whatever,
needle or something,
whatever. If that caused your ball to move, then yes, you would be in breach of that rule, and you would be required to replace the ball with penalty of 1 stroke.
Only thing in the bunker is you cannot test the surface, correct?
Correct. I mean, now there are some things that you can do that I'm sure a lot of people would say, well, I'm testing the surface. But, you know, for example, you can rake the bunker as you walk into the bunker because I'm going to exit from somewhere else. And, you know, so I'm raking the bunker just to keep it tidy or something like that. You know, you're okay under those circumstances. But obviously practice swings in the bunker, things like that, things that are obviously you're trying to test, say, the firmness of the sand, or if is this heavy sand or is this very silty sand, you know.
But aren't you going to learn that if you do rake behind yourself when you walk?
You are. Exactly. And so, I mean, I think you're also going to learn it when you fairly take your stance.
True.
So that it's one of those things where, you know, I get the purpose of the rule. I was really surprised they allowed loose impediments to be moved in a bunker, but it's the rule now. So I don't know. This may be something they review down the line somewhere.
Speaking of bunkers and building your stance, you're in the lip of a bunker and it's a very steep lip, and you start building your stance and you basically have built a step in the bunker. Is that allowed?
So no, you're allowed to fairly take your stance. You can still dig in. You can dig in to the point where, hey, look, I may dig in a little bit more because I'm on a slope and I'm going to prevent me from falling, but I can't build a stance where I'm going to, you know, take my foot and level out one portion of that bunker so my foot is now flat. You can fairly take a stance. And it stands to reason that you may dig in a little bit more on a slope, and it's not for the purpose of testing surface or building a stance, but really to make sure you don't go doing backflips into the bunker. I've done it 100 times.
And injure yourself, yeah.
Right.
He's Adam Carney, our rules expert. If you have a question on the rules of golf, send us an email from theshortgrass@gmail.com.
That's it for this edition of From the Shortgrass. Remember, when you find a ball mark on the green, fix it and a couple of more. And I hope to see you from the Shortgrass.
You've been listening to From the Shortgrass, a weekly podcast dedicated to the game of golf. This has been a presentation of the Buzz Radio Network.